The great extinction events that took place in the Earth's distant past are tied to the mystery of why particular species of creatures went extinct while others survived throughout the course of Earth's history. Today we will talk about why did the dinosaurs go extinct. It is obvious that dinosaurs dominated the globe for at least 230 million years, as indicated by the abundance of preserved dinosaur bones, teeth, and trackways, as well as other pieces of evidence. To this day, however, not even a piece of dinosaur bone has been found in any rocks that are younger than around 66 million years. When the Cretaceous period ended and the Paleogene epoch began, it would appear that all dinosaurs that were not birds became extinct all of a sudden. This occurred when the Cretaceous period gave way to the Paleogene epoch. In addition, all of the terrifying sea reptiles known as saltwater crocs, ichthyosaurs, and plesiosaurs became extinct at the same time as the dinosaurs. The flying reptiles known as tyrannosaurs became extinct at the same time. It would appear that a significant portion of the world's ancient woodlands, which were previously abundant, have died off. Even though there were still some animals, birds, fish, and amphibians that made it, the diversity of the life forms that were left was significantly diminished. This was the case despite the fact that there were still some survivors. This global catastrophe was responsible for the demise of approximately 75% of all life that has ever existed on Earth. Paleontologists have put in a significant amount of effort to piece together what took place, and their hypotheses regarding what caused the extinction of the dinosaurs and the rest of the Cretaceous occupants of the world have ranged from the probable to the completely outlandish. Paleontologists have put in a significant amount of effort to piece together what took place. At the present time, there are two primary schools of thought that predominate in the scientific world. These schools of thought are as follows: were dinosaurs wiped off because of wars between worlds, or was the extinction of dinosaurs due to difficulties on Earth? The last and most complete stage of dying. One of the most well-known hypotheses concerning the factors that led to the demise of the dinosaurs is known as the Alvarez hypothesis. Luis Alvarez and his son Walter Alvarez were a father and son research team, therefore it is named after them. In the year 1980, these two scientists proposed the idea that 66 million years ago, a meteor the size of a mountain slammed into the Earth, filling the atmosphere with gas, dust, and debris that significantly impacted the climate. This idea was based on the hypothesis that the meteor caused a global catastrophe. The exceptionally high concentration of the element iridium that was discovered in a rock layer known as the Cretaceous Paleogene, also known as the KPG layer, is the most significant piece of evidence that they have identified so far. This geological boundary zone appears to cap any known rock levels that contain dinosaur fossils. It is referred to as the dinosaur capping layer. The Alvarezes came to the conclusion that the mass extinction was caused by an extraterrestrial object due to the fact that iridium is found in relatively low concentrations in the crust of the Earth but in much higher concentrations in stony meteorites. This led them to the conclusion that the mass extinction was caused by an extraterrestrial object. The notion gained even more credence when scientists were able to establish a relationship between the extinction event and a gigantic impact crater that was found along the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. It would appear that the Chicxulub crater, which had a diameter of around 150 kilometers, has the right age and size to account for the extinction of the dinosaurs. In 2016, researchers dug a rock core under the area of Chicxulub that is now submerged. As a result, they were able to retrieve a sample that extended quite a distance below the surface of the water. This one-of-a-kind view into the interior of the crater revealed that the impact would have been powerful enough to discharge into the atmosphere sufficient quantities of vaporized rock and gases to cause death, and that the effects would have persisted for years after the initial occurrence. And in 2019, paleontologists were digging in North Dakota when they came across a huge pile of fossils that were remarkably close to the KPG boundary. This discovery is remarkable because it successfully records the remains of an entire ecosystem that existed just prior to the period of widespread extinction. It is interesting to note that the layers that have fossils also have a significant amount of tektites, which are minute fragments of glass. These metamorphic rocks were most likely granules of molten rock that were thrown into the air by the impact and then solidified in the atmosphere before descending to Earth. Tektites can be found all over the world. The intensity of the volcano's eruption. On the other hand, there are some scholars who believe that the evidence supporting a large meteor impact event is indefinite and that it is more possible that the planet Earth itself was to blame for the catastrophe. Large amounts of lava erupted from the ground between 60 and 65 million years ago, coinciding perfectly with the end of the Cretaceous period, which is when the ancient lava flows in India that is known as the Deccan Traps appeared to have formed. This event takes place at the same time as the end of the Cretaceous epoch. Today, the rock that was created as a result of the volcanic activity spans approximately 200,000 square miles in layers that, in some parts, are deeper than 6,000 feet. These layers can be found at varying depths across the landscape. In the event of a volcanic eruption of this magnitude, massive quantities of carbon dioxide and other gases would have been released into the atmosphere, which would have had a considerable effect on the overall temperature of the globe. The supporters of this theory refer to a number of indicators that suggest volcanism is a more reasonable explanation, and they say this evidence supports their position. For one reason, a lot of studies have shown that there has been a shift in the temperature of Earth even before the projected impact. This has been demonstrated. Other research has unearthed evidence of massive extinctions that took place significantly earlier than 66 million years ago, with some indications that dinosaurs, in particular, were already in a steady decline by the time the Cretaceous epoch was drawing to an end. In addition, the frequency of volcanic activity on our planet makes it a likely suspect in the extinction of other species in the past, whereas the occurrence of massive meteor strikes is significantly less common. This makes the frequency of volcanic activity on our planet a likely suspect in the extinction of other species. If it is accepted that persistent volcanic eruptions were the key culprit in the extinction of KPG species around the globe, then the proponents of this idea claim that everything makes perfect sense. Why can't we have both at the same time? The researchers in the scientific community who are working on the solution to this age-old mystery are starting to consider the possibility that these two schools of thinking can be united into one. There is a chance that the dinosaurs were the unfortunate victims of a geologic one-two punch, with volcanism weakening ecosystems sufficiently to render them vulnerable to an impending meteor. This is one of the hypotheses that has been put forward to explain the extinction of the dinosaurs. It's possible that this factor contributed to the demise of the dinosaurs. However, the veracity of this concept is heavily reliant on the findings of more precise dating of the Deccan Traps and the Chicxulub crater. Both of these geological features date back to the same time period. In 2019, two separate research examined the geochemical hints provided by the Deccan Traps lava and arrived at results that were just slightly contradictory to one another. One of the studies suggested that the volcanoes played a supporting role in the demise of the dinosaurs by causing pre-impact declines, while the other suggested that the eruptions came after the impact event and may have played only a small role in ushering along their end. Both of the studies were published in the journal Science. The year 2019 saw the completion of both of these studies. This debate is likely to continue for a significant amount of time as long as studies keep unearthing new pieces of evidence and coming up with novel ways in order to have a better understanding of the past. However, regardless of whether the extinction of the dinosaurs was caused by extraterrestrial invaders or massive amounts of lava, it is abundantly clear that researchers who are studying the final moments of the dinosaurs' existence are learning essential lessons about the effects of dramatic climate change on the inhabitants of Earth. This is the case despite the fact that it is currently unknown what caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.